What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and I found probably the best article, the best narration to just absolutely crush any argument you're going to have about the Kyle case with anybody who's uninformed. All credit to Miranda Devine over at the New York Post, who assembled the 10 most heinous lies about the Kyle case debunked. These are the things that we're constantly butting heads with because people don't want to listen. People don't want to understand the facts of the case. They just want to be mad. They just want to lash out and say whatever CNN told them is the truth. What you're about to see is the actual truth. I get so frustrated arguing with people over this kind of stuff. And I'm also really happy to have loyal, strong sponsors because YouTube certainly doesn't like these videos. So huge shout out to Private Internet Access. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Private Internet Access. Hey, October is Cybersecurity Month, and they've got an amazing offer for you. It's 2021. If you don't have a VPN yet, there are several reasons why you'll want to sign up today. One, you can browse anonymously. Keep your browsing habits to yourself. You can keep your data away from big tech so that they can't resell it. And you can access region-locked content so you can open up a whole new catalog of online content to enjoy, whether it's anime or movies that might not be available in your area. You can get at it using a VPN. And the VPN I use on my phone, my tablets, my PCs, and my laptops is Private Internet Access, and they've given an amazing offer. It's just $1.98 a month with 4 months free with a 3-year subscription. If you haven't signed up today, use my link in the description or pinned comment down below to get Private Internet Access today. Hey, if you don't yet have a VPN, while you're waiting for the verdict today, like a lot of us are, you can pick this up, get protected. They have an awesome deal through the end of the month. Now, here's the article. All the willful lies and omissions in the media's coverage of the Steele dossier, Brian Sicknick, the Covington kids, Juicy Smollier, the lab, the laptop, and so on. Nothing beats the evil propaganda peddled about Kyle. They try to make the Kyle case about race, but it's about class, punching down at the white working class son of a single mother because they don't see him as fully human, and it makes them feel good. They lie about him because they can. The central media narrative about Kyle is he's some kind of supreme whose mother drove him across state lines with his pew-pew to go after BLM protesters. All lies. A white Trump-supporting, MAGA-loving, Blue Lives Matter, social media partisan 17-year-old picks up and drives from one state to another to end people was typical from John Heilemann, MSNBC's national affairs loser. Here are the top 10 lies. Number 1, he ended two black BLM protesters. All 3 of the men involved in the incidents were, of course, white. He crossed state lines. He lives 20 minutes from Kenosha and Antioch, Illinois. His father and sisters, but his father, grandmother, aunt, uncle, cousins, and best friend all lived in Kenosha. He had a job as a lifeguard in Kenosha and worked a shift on August 25th before helping clean graffiti left by rioters at a local school. There, he and his friend were invited to join other adults who had been asked by the owners of a used car lot in Kenosha to guard the property after 100 cars had been torched the previous night. When police abandoned the town to rioters, Kyle took him picked up and brought his self-protection, since the rioters were also armed and had a history of raising hands, including, for instance, the super soldier medic Gage, who lunged at him with a loaded weapon pointed right at his head. Lie number 3, Kyle took his pew-pew across state lines. Esquire accused him of really bad tourism. False. His pew-pew was kept in a safe at his best friend's stepfather's house in Kenosha. The pew-pew was illegal. Also wrong. Under Wisconsin law, he was entitled to possess this as a 17-year-old. The judge also dismissed this charge, which the prosecution never should have brought in the first place. Lie number 5. Kyle's mother drove him across state lines to the event. Wendy, 46, never went to Kenosha. She slept late the morning of August 25th after working a 16-hour shift at a nursing home near her home in Antioch. She told the Chicago Tribune. Kyle had already gone to his job in Kenosha when she woke up. Lie number 6. He was an active pew-pew guy. A 17-year-old kid just running around ending protesters, said MSNBC's Joe Scarborough, who drove across state lines with it, also incorrect. Lie number 7. Kyle was some sort of supremacist, as then candidate Joe Biden labeled him. All they saw were pro-police Blue Lives Matter posts from a kid who had been a police and fire department cadet who wanted to be a police officer or paramedic and once sat near the front of a Trump rally. That was enough for the media to brand him this terrible things. Also a lie. Lie number 8. He flashed the OK hand symbol. After spending 3 months in jail, Kyle was freed on $2 million bail, by the way, which is hilarious. The kid that went into the school with the handgun in Texas he was out the same day, wasn't he? Anyway, at his 18th birthday last year, he went to the bar for a beer with his mother and other adults, which is legal in Wisconsin. He posed for selfies with strangers at the bar, who the media said were Proud Boys and were pictured making the OK hand symbol. The false claim that he is some sort of supremacist comes from a 2017 hoax on the Chan websites to punk liberals who keep falling for it. Biden uses the gesture frequently. It was unwise to pose for the photo, which I agree with, but it does not mean he's associated with anybody. He wore surgical gloves to cover his fingerprints. This pearl was spread by Matthew Modine, another celebrity big mouth. Also, I think he's the one from Stranger Things. Kyle wore gloves because he was giving first aid to the protesters. His face was bare, so he's hardly hiding. Imagine trying to think the kid's worried about fingerprints when he's not even covering his face. The judge is a Trumpy bias towards the defense. This is used on the fact that he would not let the prosecution use the term victim, common practice when the jury has not ruled on a case. He told a lame joke about Asian food for lunch being held up by the supply chain crisis, and his phone's ring sounds like a 1980s ditty played at Trump rallies. Ridiculous. In fact, Schroeder is a Democrat, has run as a Democrat for the Wisconsin Senate, and was first appointed by, you guessed it, a Democrat governor. Bias was also perceived in what the Chicago Tribune said was, quote, the highly unusual decision to allow Kyle draw names randomly out of a container at the end of the trial to determine which of the 12 jurors would decide his fate. It's something the judge has always done, he told the court. On the second day of deliberations, the judge railed against media distortions, although he seemed most aggravated about the comments about his reputation rather than Kyle's. He threatened to stop trials from being televised, but that's exactly the wrong solution. I agree with that. Because if we couldn't televise this, we wouldn't know the truth. We would only know what the media spin is. I haven't seen hardly any accurate media representations of what's going on in the courtroom. Why do you think there's 110,000 people watching Nick Rekieta every day? Anytime, this article is so important. Anytime someone wants to have a conversation about what happened that night, this will debunk 99% of what anybody could factually say about the case, infactually say. I haven't heard a single other argument against this, or that hasn't included these points. And it's extremely frustrating that these points keep coming up. That the mainstream media, the news, keep saying this stuff. It's patently false. It's never been true at any point, ever. Yet they keep saying it. They keep presenting it as though it's true. Why? Well, because, in my opinion, there are people who want him to be guilty simply because of his skin color. Now, that isn't to say that there aren't garbage people out there who think the same thing about other defendants and their skin color, and that's not okay either. But mainstream media and Twitter has had such a hateful, long-running anti, people that look like Kyle narrative. It started, 2016 with the white men are ruining everything. They're holding everybody back. They're holding all the wealth. They're the root of all that is evil. Sure, there are evil white men. There's no denying it. Probably more than any other group of men based on just demographic information. But in this case, the facts of the case vindicate Kyle. And if this jury comes back with anything other than a full acquittal, it will mean that the ongoing jury intimidation and the political threats of this have tainted his chance at a fair trial, which is heartbreaking. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you take a second to check out the video sponsor, Private Internet Access, if you don't have a VPN. It's very helpful that they allow me to put them in videos like this, which we know don't exactly see the light of day on YouTube. And we'll talk to you again real soon.